What's going on, everyone? This is Dr. Mephisto, and welcome to the ride. We're here today in Montreal again, and my guest today is like an international name, like big time. I'm not gonna tell too much. I just want you to discover him, but I'm just gonna say this is from France, and he's the guy to know in the dance industry, in the dance underground community in France. So enjoy. Let's go.
Yo,
Mr. Brucey. Ykanji.
what's up, Kevin? You good?
You good?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do this.
Tesla.
I don't even want to say it, but can you introduce yourself for people who don't know you?
No problem. Oh, I put my bed first. My name is Bruce Soné, and Bruce Ykanji for my nickname. I mean my stage name. I'm a dancer first. I dance since 34 years. I'm 43 soon. I'm French and Cameroonian. I'm dancer and I became dance producer. I mean, I create dance events. I have 4 companies concerning the dance. I have a dance school in Paris. I have the Juste Debout event, which is the biggest event in the world for the street dance style, for the top dance style. In Paris, 16,000 people in the room. I have an agency, a dance agency, and a production company to make some content. So yes, this is who I am. Thank you to interview me.
So lucky you're in Montreal today. Welcome to Canada again, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Juste Debout was actually the first like standing style battle in France back in the days, right?
I mean, we had some events, but not like Juste Debout. It was like Juste Debout is a meeting and for the people, and a meeting of styles as well, because we put some popping inside, locking inside, house dance and hip hop.
Right.
We were the first to do that in the world. Before we had some events, but it was more like one house event or one popping event with a b-boying,
Right.
stuff like this.
Yeah, you need to like b-boy was like the main event, the main style.
Yeah,
You
b-boy.
added, yeah.
Yeah, b-boying was the main style for the events, but it was like, for us it was terrible because it was like we had to be in the b-boys events, and the b-boys, of course, they were more than us, and our part was really short, and sometimes we didn't even have time to dance. So it was like, okay, let's go, and it was terrible for us, and I decided to create my own event to make sure that we would have the time to dance.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I usually take a step back and try to ask, how you started dancing or your path as an artist.
Yeah, I mean, I'm French and Cameroonian, like I said, and I used to live 5 years in Africa, Cameroon, and when from 5 to 10 years old. So when I was there, it was really like common to dance with the family, etc. And but I started to dance more seriously when my father bring me a tape from London. I don't know what was on. I don't know the name of the group who was on it, but it was really like in the 80s. So it was 84, something like this. and the guys were gliding. They were sliding on the floor, and that's how it starts. And I never stopped since.
I think I saw a video of you as a kid going on a TV show or something.
Yeah.
So how old was that?
I started at 8 years old to dance, and the TV show you saw was when I was 13 years old. Because when my father died in Africa, Cameroon, my mom took us to France, and the real life started there. You know, it was really like tough, and you know, we were in the neighborhood. But anyway, it was nice as well, and she did her best to make us, you know, the best we can, the best she could, you know. But the thing, I keep on dancing when my father died. I came in France, and of course I was not good at school, and then the dance took it over, you know. The dance came more and more, and so the people from the neighborhood, the big brothers from the neighborhood, they asked me if I wanted to you know, to push the dance. So they bring me to a place where many dancers were, people like Juste Debout. I don't know if you know. I know you don't know here in USA, but and in Canada, but people that made a big history for music, for the brands, the clothing brands in France. So really famous people. So I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, he was a dancer.
Really?
He was a really good dancer. Juste Debout, which is now in the music and we have a store. And so the guy from my neighborhood, he showed me a b-boy. So a guy who was dancing in the floor for the people who don't know it. And he showed me Juste Debout who were gliding, and he were, you know, waving and tutting. So I was like, yeah, I want to do this. You know, they asked me to choose. I mean, kindly, and I chose. So I never stopped. Yeah, I chose.
And so between you started the Juste Debout at what age?
25
so
years old.
Between that and 13 years, that's where you dance from MC Solar, right?
Yeah. I mean, my mom, because again I was not so good at school. I was really violent. I was really a violent kid, even if I don't look like. I was fighting in the school, etc. And I never been so far with the studying. But I mean, I get, you know, fired from many college and whatever. So, but I was disappointed on me to see that my mother was really sad, you know. So I decided to, you know, to be a cook, because I was taking care of my sister, and every night I was cooking for her, etc. And then I was cook, but I wanted to dance. But my mom didn't want me to be a dancer, because back in the days in France, we didn't have people on TV or wherever for hip hop who were famous, you know, and who could show that it was possible to be a dancer, a professional dancer. So I decided to stop 1 year after my cook studies. I've been cook for 4 years. It was like army, bro. It was like every morning at 4, wake up, 6 in the kitchen. Yes sir. It was really the old school way to,
especially in France, right?
Yeah, especially in France. But I appreciate this time because I was cook, but in the night time I was in the clubs. So I was really tired, but I appreciate my life. I appreciate my dancer life, and I learned a lot with the to be a cook, because you have to have
discipline.
You know, discipline. Yeah. So that's helped me a lot. Yeah.
I was gonna ask if you transferred it to dance.
I'm sure. To be to be on time, to be organized. You know, a cook is really organized.
Right.
Really organized. So yeah, I had to be organized. So I'm organized also in my dance, in my business life. Like
yeah, and
now.
you transferred to how you organize your event, maybe too.
of course. You know, just one thing, to be punctual. I mean, to be on time, to be you know, to know the value of the work, the value of the money as well. Because
right.
when you cook, when you start, you don't have money and you work like crazy. So to have some values, it helps me. Of course, the neighborhood helps me too, and my wife and my mom too. But it helps me. You know, it's like some bricks you put in your wall that make you more solid. So yeah. So after that, to come back on the question, after my study, around 20 years old, I decided to take my apartment alone. And as soon as I get my apartment, I stopped to work.
Yeah.
I stopped to cook, you know. And I say, okay. I said to myself, okay, give me 1 year. I give to myself 1 year to be a dancer, you know. And 3 months after, I was in MC Solar promo, TV promo, and after I was in the tour with them.
You know how crazy it is to me, this? Like, MC Solar was my... I learned like a lot of my vocabulary in French because of him.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he's still here, but
yeah,
back in the days he was considered like a genius, and he's
right.
For me, he is.
Yeah.
You know what? I used to work like 2 years with him. After 2 years, I understood. It's crazy. Maybe I will look stupid now, but on stage when he was rapping, I understood what he wanted to mean. You know,
yeah.
what was the meaning of the thing he did, you know, he said. So because it was really subtle. I mean, I don't know how to say it in English, but really, you know,
it's poetic. He's a poet.
Yeah, he's a poet. So
you were dancing with like Max Law and everything. She was
Max Law. I don't know. I didn't know that you were you knew her, but she was the lady who told me to come to MC Solar because she was the choreographer. But before that, I have to say, after I was in many crews, and Section C was one of my crew, and Francis,
really?
Yeah,
with the Ange and everything.
No, Ange was not inside, but it was Jean Didier. Okay, let me tell you something. The real first Section C crew, Cyril, Fabien, Fred, JC, Jean Didier, Francis, Paul Eric. This maybe I forgot one or two, but Ryan. But this was the real Section Camouflage crew. It's a crew in France. So now we have the new Section C, but they forgot to mention that many names,
right?
That were inside and were great dancers. People like JC. JC is the brother of the cousin of DJ Tijo.
Okay.
And he is like DJ Tijo. His level is great. JC was the same in hip hop. So basically, it was a great crew. Fred, Paul Eric, you know him. So I was in this crew, and Francis bring me to Max Law, and Max Law bring me to MC Solar. So that was the way. And then after after I never stopped. You know, I used to dance for Scandalous Mystic, who pushed me, Billy Crawford.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, Billy Crawford for all the show business parts, for all the TV things. Jean-Michel Jarre, some French artists as well. I did dance for President. I did many things. For in the industry. You know, also.
And outside of the industry, so okay, let's put the background dancing. Mm-hmm. And did you do a lot of creation at the time? Like,
yeah, I used to do also, because Ykanji is not my name. Is the name of my crew. I means good, and Kenji means spirit in Japanese. And it was Regis inside of many good dancers, like Tijo again, Rabat, David Colas, many good dancers from France. And yeah, we used to do creations, but it's not my word. I mean, I like it, but it's too much like paperwork before to dance, you know, and it's kind of tiring to explain to the people how you want to dance or what you want to do to make the people react to your dance, or you know, I'm not really an intellectual, you know. Mm-hmm. I like business, I like numbers, but I'm not really a man who is writing some paperwork to say, okay, listen, I'm talented.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talented because blah, 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 blah. And in France, it's like that, and I think they should change the system, but this is my perception. And so that's why you see many dancers around the world, in France and wherever, really talented, but who don't have creation.
Right.
They're really creative, but they don't have creation, because I think we should develop some jobs to take the people to write for them.
I see. So what are you saying is that they need to write paperwork? Is it to get financing from the government?
Financing,
okay,
but even not only for this, to explain your show, to go
right.
to a theater or wherever,
right. Yeah.
So for me, this is fucked up, and this is not how I saw the dance
mm-hmm.
at that time. And also, like in like everywhere, there is some mafia. If you don't
right.
do this, if you don't dance like this, you can go there and blah blah blah.
Politics, all this.
So that's why I think this is a good question, because I think that's why the battles became so big, because they wanted to put us in a case, in a box,
mm-hmm.
and we say, okay, cool, this box is still existing now, and many people are doing this, but many young dancers, they didn't recognize themselves, they didn't recognize the essence of the hip-hop and the essence of the dance in these shows. So that's why some people say, yeah, but there is too much battles. Yeah, but there is too much battles because we created our platforms to make sure that we would be able to express ourselves, mm-hmm. and to be seen as well, because when you are an artist, you want to be seen. So some people don't like it, some people like it, and of course there is some good and bad battles, but I think this is really important to talk about it for the development of the hip-hop dance, mm-hmm. because if we wouldn't have the power to do these events, the hip-hop dance didn't look the same now.
Yeah.
It would look like a really more contemporary and really much more like
intellectual dance.
Intellectual dance, yeah. Which I like sometimes to watch some. I'm not against, again, but it's not my cup of tea. That's all I'd say.
But I find about France, like there's still a lot of intellectual in the dancing as well. Even if it's raw, but there's still like a lot of thinking. I find there's a lot of guys are dance nerds.
You talk about the in the underground scene.
Yeah.
Also, yeah. I think this is a problem as well. Yeah.
Is it?
I mean, this is good, but for me, the hip hop styles and the street styles have to be instinctive. This is what makes the difference between the other dances. I mean, the other styles who are really in the institutions, because jazz was like this back in the days. Mm-hmm. Ballet, I don't know about it because I was not there for 400 years ago. Mm-hmm. But maybe it was much more instinctive as well. So the people want to put some codes and some things in the boxes, but like in France, I see many dancers who are preparing themselves like sportsmen, or like some codes, like they know that they will do this and this, and after this is coming, and it kills a little bit the instinct. It's nice as well, and everybody has codes. I have some of mine too, but the most important is the instinct on the music,
right?
To me, So if you have too much in the head, you don't give a lot of space for the heart. And hip hop and the street dance styles are coming, in my opinion, again. And I don't want to give any lessons like the old people, the old generation who say, yeah, what you do is not good. No, I love the new generation who do some intellectual dance as well, again. But it's less my cup of tea. You know, I prefer like the instinct things.
Okay, let me just be more clear about my point when I say it's intellectual. It's just like from moving to North America, and I see the emphasis of, you know, going to the, you know, the base from like the founders and all that stuff. And I find that the intellectual side of the French culture makes that people want to explore, you know, like if you compare dance to a vocabulary, they want to explore and do like nice phrases and all that stuff. I think this is the mentality where people want to go outside of the status quo, like the stuff that already they want to explore and create. I don't know, that's my vision of it.
No, I agree, and this is a good vision as well. I think we have to explore. As an artist, you have to explore. But the question is, why do you explore? Do you explore to be better? Do you explore to change the rules? Do you explore to say, okay, I'm the best now, and what was made in the past is not you know, relevant anymore? You know, the exploration have to be also instinctive. You know, you explore because you like that and you love the dance, and on this music I want to explore a move, and maybe this move will come back. But it doesn't have to be I mean, in my opinion, again, it doesn't have to be like a thinking way to change the word because you want to be famous, you know. You know.
Okay, let me ask this question. I don't know if it's a hard one, but because we kind of talking about the professionalization of dance right now. Since you value so much the instinct of dancing, how do you see the impact that Juste Debout had on, you know, professionalizing dancers? You know, because people were winning the battle, had so many opportunities after, so, you know, it kind of like give you a jump to your career and all that stuff. How do you see that contrast?
I see this, you know, I'm really honest with myself as well, you know, and I try to be a better man every day, even if it's hard. You know, so for me, Juste Debout is really good, but there is also really bad points. You know, it's always good and bad, and when you see this, when you understand this, you can go further. I would be really stupid to say, yeah, Juste Debout is the best, and you know, and Juste Debout makes life changes. Of course, it changed some lives of dancers, but I think for me, and that's why I work now, because I'm doing this since 2002, so 17 years, and my new goal is to change also the next step. You know, what is the next step for Juste Debout? Because now we're here. You know, I can do better than I did if I stay in my position. So basically, I have a room full in Paris. The school is also full of students who want to learn.
How many schools do you have now?
I have one school. I used to have two, but we had some problems with the licensing. Toulouse.
Oh, Toulouse. Right.
So you know, some troubles. So now I do other schools, but by myself, no licensing anymore. So it's cool to have Juste Debout, but it's limited because the guy is doing Juste Debout. Okay, we see 5,000 dancers around the world during 3 months, so it's huge. The dancers are coming to Paris. Many of them lose, and the winner win a good money prize, like 2,400. But beside of this, okay, of course, the year after and the year after, maybe he's working, making workshops, judging, etc. But beside of this, what I'm doing with all the others. First questions. First question. Second, I love your city, bro. Some horse here. Crazy, really green.
Yeah, I give you the nice ride right now.
Yeah. Thank you, man. And this is a side of Montreal that I wouldn't probably never see without you. Thank you. First, what I'm doing with the others. Second, it's a short vision. You win if you not smart, but not business enough to develop your career, it's going to be complicated for you to survive if you don't come back to Juste Debout or to other events, you know. So my next step is to create more jobs, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm working on it since 2 years, and I want to develop some other jobs with the schools, with some shows, with some other stuff I can talk about. I cannot talk about it now, but I'm developing now, and the next step of Juste Debout is coming soon. So.
But you have this dance formation at the Juste Debout School anyway, right?
Yeah.
Have like promotions every year.
Yeah.
How does it work?
It's working good. We have people from Canada, from Montreal, students from here. I have people from Japan, Senegal, France, of course, Europe, and this is really my babies. You know, this is in the beginning, the first years, they're not my babies yet, and I told them, I say, hey, you're not my babies yet, but it's coming step by step. And I'm really straight. This is my problem as well sometimes. But a lot of French. So, but they become my babies, and some really beautiful students are coming out of it, and we are proud of it. We don't tell it. We don't say, yeah, this is my kids, and yeah, this is my students, because for me this is my disciples. So it's not like, yeah, awful. So for me, I don't want to show off and say, yeah, this is my student, he's under my arm, and you know. But we have some good, like some people that you see that win some battles and do some creations and do some stuff.
So you see those students get like real results when they get out of Juste Debout School?
I mean, if they have the diploma,
yeah,
some of them, like 80% of them, have good results in dance. But I'll be honest, 20% of them, they have not so much results, and it's really hard for them in life. And 20% of them only are working really good.
Right.
But it's like everywhere, you know. It's like in university or wherever you go in some graduation things.
Right.
Some people have the diploma, but they have a job, but it's not really a crazy job. You know?
Right. But it's supply and demand. It's really hard to feel like a lot of competition, right?
Yeah. No, but I mean also, and even when you go out of the school, of course you have everything in your body, but there is a digestion time from 3 or 4 years to understand what we gave you, because the teachers are really high-level teachers. And to understand it in 3 years, it's impossible. In the beginning, I wanted to do a formation, education on 5 years, but it's not possible. It's too long, and you know, the people would crack. so it's already long 3 years to be with me in the school, because I'm really tough, really, you know.
Yeah, I remember. I didn't take a lot of class, but I remember. Yeah, I had 2 questions coming right now. I'm trying to save because I'm gonna forget if I don't ask them. But do you now consider you like an OG in France?
OG, no. I mean, I'm the 3rd generation of popper.
Ouais.
So for me, I'm not an OG. The OG, the real one, who's still dancing. I only talk about the people who still dancing, okay? Because we had some really old OGs, but who don't dance, so yeah, make no sense. The real one for popping is Junior Almeida.
Right.
Locking, popping. 2nd generation.
Still teaches, right?
Still good teacher, good person, good, you know. I mean, really like really good teacher. 2nd generation, Fox. Maybe Claire's, but I'm not sure. But Fox. And then after came me and Regis. And this generation, you know. And then after came people like Walid and to give, you know, some. Walid was dancing, but he was dancing hip hop at the beginning.
Right.
And now he's a master in popping and boogaloo, of course. But yeah, it's like this. So I don't, and even if I was the first, I don't want to consider myself like an OG. I want to stay young. Look,
Well,
you know,
yeah, no, but I mean, like, OG is not necessarily the first, right?
Yeah,
but,
I'm kidding when I'm saying yeah, of course. But of course, I'm here since a long time.
Right, yeah.
I'm here since 1986 in France, and I danced in 1984. So
And you obviously done a lot, but that comes to my second question. That's a topic I've been talking a lot about people, actually, about you. It's when you see the OGs in like other countries, and actually I don't know if I should ask this question.
No, man, go ahead. You know, I will reply straight.
Okay, so what I observe is a lot of OGs, of founders, they have really, you know, that life where you spend all your time in airports, and they don't have families and are married, and like I want to see you have a family. You seem like a really stable guy, and I'm like, how come, you know?
How come? I mean, because for me, my base is my family,
right?
And
It's your drive.
It's my drive, it's my base, and this is my everything. So I would never do nothing without my wife, my mom, my brother, my sister, my kids. And I don't say that because I'm in front of the camera, and you know, I say that all the time because this is true. And my wife know me since I'm, you know, 10 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm with my wife since I'm 17 years old. We were in the same neighborhood, so I had some girls before, but 17 years old, I'm with my wife, and I'm still with her.
Wow.
So this is my half, but for real, you know. So of course it was hard sometimes, you know, in the life, you know, not everything is stable, but this is why life is so beautiful as well, you know. So I'm lucky. I'm just lucky to find the right person straight away, you know, and the woman of my life. And beside of this, I will explain you how I'm here, you know. I'm really, and the people, you know, I know many people don't understand me.
Right.
I know this, and I don't ask them to understand me because it's a little bit complicated to understand me. For example, when everybody is playing, I'm working.
Right.
When everybody want to enjoy and go to club, I go to club in the beginning, and you saw it this weekend. I go to club in the beginning of the club, I dance 2-3 hours, and after, when the club is full, I leave, because I go back to the hotel and I work. So the people think, you know, everything is coming like this. I work a lot. I'm a workaholic. You know, I work like my schedule is like that. Monday, Tuesday, 15 hours of work. Wednesday, family time. Thursday, Friday, work, 15 hours. Saturday, Sunday, traveling. You know, travel for the dance or whatever. So, and many people don't understand me because you know, yeah, but Bruce, he doesn't go out. Same, I don't buy so much clothes since I'm young. You know, I save my money. You know, I save my money because I don't want to go back where I was, you know, back in the days. So, I mean, I was not in the ghetto, but I want to give the best for my kids and my family. Because for me, a parent, boy, man or woman, have to be like this. This is the goal of us. This is my opinion, but I don't criticize no one. I don't judge no one. If the dancers want to enjoy, go to the girls, and don't have a family life, that's them. You know, it's them. You know.
Yeah.
I just don't see the life like this. Of course, the temptation is everywhere. You know, you're traveling. You go to some countries really hot with the girls around you, blah 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 blah.
Temptations, yeah.
Yeah, but that's why I never stay long time, and that's why also people don't understand me. I go to Japan, I stay 2 days. I go to Russia, I stay 2-3 days, because I don't want. You know, we all humans, so I don't want to miss sometimes with my family.
Right.
Because we all need affection. So if you stay long time, in the country, what do you think will happen?
Yeah, you feel lonely.
You know, and you feel lonely, and that's what happened with the dancers. They don't get it. They stay in the country. Sometimes they don't give workshops. They stay in the country, or they don't judge.
Hotel life.
Yeah, hotel life, and after. So I don't judge anybody, but we have to be smarter. I mean, if you want to have a stable life, we have to be smart, and to make sure that everything is balanced. And yeah. I don't know if I replied to your question, but
no, definitely. That's definitely. But that's something I'm going through too, because I work a lot personally to try to. Anyway, there's no comparison, but yeah, it's definitely a state of mind, and that's what I learned moving to North America, because it's like the work culture. In France we have this culture of like enjoying life. It's kind of hedonist a little bit.
Say it, bro. We're lazy in France. We are lazy. I'm French. I love France. I love the country. But bro, the French mentality, and I don't want to, again, to have some enemies, but we have to change many things. The work, when you work for a boss in Japan, you work for your boss. Because you understand that if you work good for your boss, you will upgrade, or your company will be stable and your life is easy. When you work for a boss in France, you want to fuck him. Right. And you want to fuck the system and to don't work because No,
that's true. But what I was trying to say is, it's the work. It's a work country, but in the same time, there's a lot of people who are also miserable, right?
Yeah.
Working.
Yeah.
And my personal struggle was to try to find the pleasure in working, right? And that's how you can have like 15 hours a day, because you enjoy your work, right? You love it. Like that's why it's not work really.
This is. In fact, I work 15 hours a day because I don't realize that I'm working.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed. Yeah. I'm blessed because I'm doing what I want to do. So this is the biggest value in the world, to be with the people we want to be, and to do what you want to do, and to make money of it, and to make money for the other people who work with you. For me, it's what I'm doing. I'm blessed. I really thanks God every day. For that, really, because I think some people work and they don't like them job.
Right.
It's like, and
yeah, it's not everybody can have this, and yeah. But yeah, like it looks like you love your life, man.
I'm what? Sorry.
It looks like you love your life.
No, I love to work, and this is coming also from the cook,
right?
The kitchen, because if you do this job, you have to love what you do. When you cook, it's like energy. So if you don't like it, it doesn't work. Like everything.
Right. So yeah, you were talking about the bad sides of Juste Debout. Like what do you see as a bad side?
The bad side is first I started Juste Debout in the gymnasium room, in the gym room, and it was really like friend meeting.
Yeah,
family meeting and friends meeting. It became bigger and bigger. Et ça m'a dépassé. I don't know how to say it in English, but it was over me.
Out of control?
Yeah, it was. Come on. I go from 400 people to 2,000, 5,000, 7,000, 10,000. No, and it's not my event anymore.
Right.
It's the event of the people, and the people, they change my a little bit my way of thinking. This is natural because they took it. So, and in the world there is some good people and some bad people.
Right.
So of course there is some good sides and some bad sides. The good sides are the meeting, because the Juste Debout is just the purpose to every year be together.
Right.
You win, you lose, we don't care. We go to party, we go to eat together, we meet each other, we talk to each other, we give some contacts. This is the most beautiful part. The saddest part is all the politics around. Every time there is some stories about Juste Debout, because the people become crazy about it. But some stupid stories like, I don't know, man. I don't know. People inventing some
conspiracies.
Like Bruce, he paid the twins to come this year, and I never paid nobody to come to Juste Debout. I never paid any tickets to the people to come to Juste Debout except for the judges, you know. So, you know, it's stupid things who kill the vibe and who make the doubt in the head of the people, and, you know, many stupid things. But I have so many stories, man. every day actually there is some stories, because the people don't know and they talk and they colportent, je sais pas comment on dit, ils colportent.
They broadcast.
They broadcast the mastering the story, and they change it, and, you know. But this is, in the same time, this is bad, but this is good.
Well, it comes with it, right? It comes with the success.
Yeah, like in football, like in you know, whatever you choose, like with the superstar, the artist, there is always good and bad, and in the bad there is good as well. So
it must be tough, man.
No, it's really tough, and also, you know, the people don't realize that it's a lot of work for no money, basically. Right. You know, the events. I don't know no one in the hip hop street. I talk about street dance style, not commercial world. I don't know nobody who makes money with the events.
Yeah.
So I developed other stuff to make money, but the event itself, the people have to support it and to come, because it doesn't make money. I mean, it makes money the D-Day, but if you pay the people who are working 1 year, the offices, etc., no more money, you know. So the people make stories about, you know, and this is what I don't like also in France. The people don't like the success. Again, for example, the twins. Okay, they have some characters that may be arrogant or whatever, but they represent us around the world. Everybody know the twins. Everybody know them. When they come somewhere, the French, they're so mean with them, you know. So they don't have no other choices to be arrogant, to protect themselves as well. Right. And this is a chain reaction, a bad chain reaction, you know. We should be more like yesterday, the Jolt, the event of Monsta Pop. The vibe in Canada, in Montreal, is amazing. They push yourself in a good way. I mean, in a good atmosphere. So yeah, I wish it was like this, but, you know, there is good and bad again, and we have to accept it.
Right.
That's maybe why we are so strong, the French, as the dancers. That's because we have bad side as well.
Because nobody gonna compliment you.
Yeah, bro. Hey, when I start dancing, the people were beating me to do the step better.
Right.
The times are changing, and this is good. But they were cursing me, and, you know, and that's why I became who am I today, you know. I accepted it, and so yeah, good and bad, and we're strong in France. We have to say that we are really strong for that.
What's your favorite event outside? Well, not counting Juste Debout, but what's the event you really remember as one of the greatest?
You know what? This is not because I'm here, and right. This is not, you know, I love events in Japan for different reasons. The organization, you know, as a producer, it's really beautiful to see it. Like the old school night, I like it. The Dance Delight, I like it. But yesterday, it was a slap for me.
Right?
Yeah, because what I like is, of course, the organization side. As a producer, we have some stuff to. We talk with Monsta Poppin, and, you know, I want to help him, and, you know, to give some advice, to improve, because the vibe, the people, the dance, and the creativity is amazing. And that's what I'm fighting for since so many years. You know, many people say, yeah, Bruce is not doing popping because I'm not a regular popper with some bass. I mean, I have the bass, but I don't maybe use them as that much. So what I saw yesterday was really like an achievement, to see that, okay, I'm dancing since 34 years old, and I see an event who look like me, who look like, you know, you do whatever you want on the music, like not necessarily only funk music, electro, trap, with crazy people around you searching, mastering, researching, you know, and pushing the knowledge and the research. I mean, yeah, it was great. So this event,
Monsta Pop.
yeah, shout out to Monsta Pop, really great job, and shout out to the Canadian dancers and scene, and also we saw some Indians dancers were really good, and some Americans as well. But yesterday was really nice. So it became yesterday one of my favorite events.
Yeah.
For popping.
Yeah, I was talking to Monsta Pop earlier on the podcast actually, and he said something he just felt frustrated that it wasn't being represented in multiple events he went to, and wanted to, instead of complaining, he wanted to do something about it.
Yeah,
that's why I respect a lot. That's what you did too, right?
I wanted to say that this is why it works. This is because when you do an event for money, the instinct is not here. He did that because his instinct said, okay man, you have to do it. And that's what I did 17 years old with Juste Debout. Too many B-boys events, I will do a top dance style event. Too many, one style was really represented. I took other judges from other different styles to represent and to show the diversity of popping, for example. We had a magazine in France called Danser. It was a magazine who talk about the ballet and contemporary, but really they never talked about us. So from 2005 to 2009, I did my own magazine, Juste Debout magazine, free paper magazine, every dance schools with people who have other vision of dance. It could be ballet dancers or contemporary dancers on the cover, but also hip hop dancers, tap dancers, whatever, and African dancers as well. So I always, when everybody is going here, I'm going there.
Right.
Because it's too late. When you go there, it's too late. This is my leitmotiv, you know.
So, but to do all that over those years, like you went through like government financing, or like
10% of my budget.
10%, really?
Yeah. Now it's even less. It's like 5 or 3% of my. They give me, the people. This is another thing. I heard that my mother was working in the city hall, and that's why I could do Juste Debout, and that's why I could have money. This is bullshit, So this is funny, but no. Hey, what I have with this, and this, and this. This is how I get my stuff. So, no, basically the city hall helped us. Of course they helped us, but not like people think. Wait, because I have some.
Yeah, we're on the way.
Okay.
We're on the way
Just
there.
want to say to them to wait. Yeah. So.
Yeah, you did a big drive through Montreal right now.
No, I like this city, man. I really like it.
Yeah. Shit, I forgot my point.
Yeah, the government.
The government. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. In Canada, the system works that the markets are so small that you have to, like a lot of artists, they have to go through government grants.
Yeah.
Subvention.
Yeah.
You have to, and because in the States, like you can't do 40 kilometers in every direction. You go to another city, another market. Here, everything is so far.
Yeah.
Some people have to hire people to write grants, like faire le paperwork. They hire people to do that across the year.
Yeah.
For them, because otherwise they can't live of their art, right? It's very interesting.
Yeah. But it's the same in France. It's the same in France. It's the same in France. I mean, many companies, they couldn't survive without the help in France.
Right.
So, but me, I don't want to be dependent.
Right.
I want to be independent, and I want to be free. So that's why I'm not in the office and saying, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm losing more time to do this because I can't. That developing some stuff like, okay, I make my t-shirts, and I make this money with my t-shirts, and I reinvest my money in this event. You know, we have so many solutions. The people in the government, they let you think that it's not possible to create an economy with it.
Right.
This is the goal for more control. But it's not true. It's not true. It's not true. And many people say to me about me that I'm a businessman, you know. Yeah, I'm a businessman because we need business in the culture.
Right.
We need to make money. Like they say it yesterday. You know, I came from Paris. I took my flight. I took my hotel, and I pay at the entrance. Monsta Poppin wanted me to be invited. They gave me a yellow wristband, but I paid. It was supposed to be orange. Actually, I paid $20 as a dancer because I want to support. I want to make Monsta Pop stronger, and because this is how it is. And Thursday, tap water, I paid, and the day of the big making, I paid also because I want to support. I know how hard it is.
It is
to make some events. And you know, a student of mine who is here in Montreal, he say, "Hey, do you have a invitation?" I said, "No, you pay." I said, "You pay," you know. So yeah,
people are consumers, man. They like to feel
yeah, special.
In North America, I find that people are also very well, it's the same in France, but they're really entitled. You know, like they take things for granted, and when it's gone, they complain that it's gone. But yeah. Oh yeah. So
yeah,
I was gonna say
exactly. They complain when it's gone.
It's easier to complain, but yeah, Juste Debout also, like, it does generate a lot for business around it. Like
What do you mean?
Juste Debout is the old economy, like, because when Juste Debout arrived, like, people go to stores, you know, to buy new clothes. Like, there's a lot of business that is driven by it.
Let me tell you, we have 25% of people from around the world, 25% of people from outside of Paris. So it's 50% of the people who are coming to a hotel or our Airbnb or wherever, who eat in the restaurants, who take some clothes, who take some music, who go to the party, who drinking. When I was with a Puma sponsorship, they told me that when we did Juste Debout, the stores around were empty,
right,
of Pumas, the sweat, and they say, "Oh, it's beautiful," you know. So yes, so this is an economy. Hip hop is strong. Hip hop is the first music, the most buy. Dance, hip hop dance is the first pratique. So this is the first economy. And the people say, yeah, but hip hop is weak. No, we are so powerful. Why do you think the Olympic Games want to take us?
Dance, yeah.
They need us. They need us. We don't need them. They need us. So economy of Juste Debout is huge, and every year is growing inside, and outside is growing as well, you know. When the people are coming from Senegal or Japan to live in France, to go to the school, they rent a room, you know, they eat, you know. So yeah, it's generating it's generating some money, of course.
Let me ask you something I heard.
Yeah.
I'm not a gossip person, but I heard this. Is it true that you got a call from the president at some time?
The call?
Yeah, a call from the president because of Juste Debout and all the economy.
No. No, it's not bullshit. It's one thing is true. When Sarkozy was president,
that's what I heard.
Yeah, when Sarkozy was president, a wife were supposed to do a dance school, and someone from the government.
His wife was supposed to do the dance school?
Well, dance artistic school.
Okay.
Yeah. And someone from the president circle called me to work with them, and I said no. I said no because I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be in jail, and I don't want to be in the political thing. I'm doing politics, but this is my politics. I don't want to be, you know, I want to make my own things and to don't be in jail. I mean,
Trapped. You want
trapped.
to be trapped.
Montargé, you know. So this is not true, but this is not wrong.
Right.
They called me, I said no. If I would say yes, I would be maybe working with them, but yeah. But I like, you know, when you talk about some rumors like this, because it's my turn to, you know, to put the reality in.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I forgot the last thing I wanted to ask. It's a long ride. I need to focus on the road and gather my questions as well.
And I cut yourself, because I always cut you.
But yeah, so okay, last question, because we're almost there. But it's a top two parts actually. Like, what do you think of like what's going on now, and what kind of direction you wish the dance scene would take right now?
I mean, you know, it's always hard to answer to this question, because I danced since 34 years, and of course I will say, yeah, back in the days it was better, you know. But I'm not this type of person. I think the present is really beautiful.
Well, that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Because you're not this type of person.
Yeah, thank you. But I mean, you know, what happened is beautiful, you know. And I'm still here sharing with people who are 20 years old, who sharing the common passion, and I think it's great. What's happened now is great, because they have much more visibilities with all the social media, etc., even if it's not always good, and even if it's a lot of time some bullshit inside. It's also good to see the connections. For me, this is the most important, the connection with the world, you know, and the people talking, and you know, it's really positive. We just have to be careful on one thing, and this is the old me who's talking now. The work. The people, they want to be famous, they want to shine before working. And this is more and more every year. For example, I give you a short and quick example. I'd start my school 10 years ago. 10 years ago it was already weak, but the level of the students were more high, and they were working more. Now the younger generation is even more lazy. So it's going like this. And we were more lazy than the other. And the other were more lazy than the others.
Right.
Back in the days, our grandparents were really strong and really, you know. That's why if you watch even the architecture, it's really beautiful, you know, back in the days. But now they can do the same.
Right.
And for dance, it's kind of the same. You know, they're shining, but they shine in the short term, because okay, you can be a star for 1 year, 2 years, but if your foundations,
it's like music now.
Yeah, it's like music. Yeah, if the foundations are not good, then you will not have the, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work long time. And I think that's why I'm still here, because I used to work on my foundations. So the people, okay, before to be famous or to have many followers, work first and love what you do, and show that you love what you do.
People get it too easy, maybe.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit like this. Yeah.
All right, man. Let's wrap this up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much
honored,
for your interview, and yeah, it's really interesting. I love your car.
Right.